After arguing with her husband, the wife left home. Before leaving, she secretly installed a hidden camera. She intended to see how her husband and mother-in-law would speak ill of her. Unexpectedly, just after she left home, she discovered her best friend had rushed to the house, and she was calling her mother-in-law mommy. The woman then realized her best friend was having an affair with her husband. From the ensuing conversation, she learned that her mother-in-law and husband had swapped her IVF samples. The child in her womb was actually her husband's and her best friend's. What devastated her even more was, the man was lacing her tonic with unknown drugs every day, causing her to develop cancer. They also planned to marry once the baby was born. They assumed that by then she would surely die of cancer. The woman trembled with anger when she learned the truth. She only wanted to rush back and confront the man. A friend noticed she was bleeding from her lower body. Meanwhile, the mother-in-law was beating her chest and promising her best friend that once the woman gave birth, she would immediately inscribe her best friend and the child into the family genealogy. Suddenly, the man received a call from the hospital, saying something had happened to the baby in his wife's womb. The three of them rushed anxiously to the hospital, because the wife was already weakened by cancer. The doctor said they could only save one mother or child, and urged them to make a choice quickly. Without hesitation, the mother-in-law chose to save the child. At that moment, the man agreed with his mother's decision. After all, they needed the child to secure the family inheritance. An hour later, the woman stuffed cotton into her womb, pretending the child was still alive. To exact revenge on the man's family, she decided to play along with their charade. She asked the courier to deliver the urn to the ancestral hall in 2 months, because that day was not only the engagement day of the man and her best friend, it was also the day of the family's ancestral rites. The woman planned to prepare a grand gift for them. The man was overjoyed to hear the child was safe, thinking that with a son, he could become head of the family. 2 months flew by. Finally, the wife's due date arrived. The obstetrician friend, as planned, told the man that his wife had given birth to a son, but that his wife had died in childbirth. The mother-in-law feigned tears. The man knelt with a thud, crying and begging his wife to forgive him. At that moment, the mother-in-law asked where the baby was. They were eager to take the baby home to honor the ancestors. The doctor lied that the baby was too weak and needed several hours in a sterile chamber. He told them to return to the ancestral hall to perform rites first, assuring them that the hospital would later send someone to deliver the baby. Hearing this, they hurried home to attend the ancestral rites. Unbeknownst to them, the woman had already devised her plan of revenge. On the day of the rites, the man hosted a grand banquet at the ancestral hall, inviting relatives and friends. He had never been able to become head of the family because he had no son. Now he could finally hold his head high. Just then, the wife's package arrived as planned. Seeing her name on the package, the man, puzzled, was about to open it but was stopped by his mother. She believed it was unlucky, being the belongings of the deceased woman. The man set the package aside. He then called the doctor to urge him to deliver the baby. At that moment, the main gate swung open with a bang. The supposedly dead wife appeared at the doorway, holding a swaddled bundle. The man, astonished, asked his wife why she hadn't died. Seeing the man's disappointed expression, the woman threw the swaddled bundle into the air without a word. Only then did everyone